powerful energy shift is happening right now on September 11. Archangel Michael's urgent warning for you. You need to hear this before it's too late. September 11 is not just a date remembered by men. It is a date recorded in the scrolls of heaven. It is a number sealed in fire, echoing across the spiritual dimensions with intensity and weight. But the world remembers it for tragedy. The heavens remember it for transition. And now, in this moment, that day, this day, is being activated again, not in sorrow, but in power. A portal has been opened. A divine shift is already in motion, and the Spirit has spoken. Those with ears to hear must listen now. Archangel Michael, heaven's appointed warrior, has been released to sound the alarm. He does not come lightly. His sword is drawn, his voice thunderous, his presence felt among the chosen. Not everyone will feel it. Not everyone will perceive the stir. This message is not for the curious. It is for the called. Not for the crowd, but for the consecrated. If your heart has been restless, if your nights have been filled with unspoken weight, if your spirit has been sensing something you can't name, this is why. The energy shift is not something you wait for. It is something you step into. It is not something you survive. It is something you answer. But the answer does not come with noise. It comes with stillness, silence, separation. There is a spiritual current flowing through the earth on this September 11, but it cannot be touched by those who rush, who panic, or who sleep. Only the still-hearted will recognize the sound. Only the prayerful will grasp what's unfolding. Heaven has chosen today to call a remnant. That remnant is you. Not by accident, not by coincidence, not by scrolling and stumbling, but by divine design. This message found you because heaven has marked you. Archangel Michael's warning is not casual. It is calculated. He has been released because something in you must awaken before the door closes again. A stirring is happening in the unseen realm. Time is collapsing. The spiritual climate is shifting. And if you miss this moment, you may miss more than you know. Type I receives this warning in the comments if your spirit feels it. Blessing code 911 is now activated. I, Archangel Michael, sent by the throne of the Most High, speak now with urgency that cannot be delayed. I do not whisper, I warn. I do not comfort before I confront. For what is unfolding now, on this very day, September 11, is not merely history repeating, it is heaven revealing. From the course of glory to the battlefields of the unseen, a window has been flung open, not by man, but by the hand of the Eternal One. And through this window, a divine current is rushing. It does not wait. It does not apologize. It does not knock twice. From the moment the sun rose this morning, a spiritual threshold was crossed. The clock of heaven struck, and now the earth must respond. This is not metaphor. This is movement. From this sunrise until the next, the air is charged with divine electricity. A shift is happening that many will sleep through, but not you. You are not one of the slumbering. You are not one of the skeptics. You have been stirred for a reason, and that reason is now. Heaven is not silent today. The angels are not at ease. The Spirit is brooding. The ground is groaning. And I, Michael, have been dispatched to announce the call. The chosen must awaken. The sensitive must perceive. The faithful must rise. The alarm is not sounding to frighten you. It is sounding to free you. The battleground is no longer coming. It is here. The moment is no longer future. It is present. And those who are spiritually numb will miss it entirely. But not you. I speak now to the one whose spirit has been unsettled, the one who has felt tension in the invisible, the one who has sensed strange disruptions, confusing emotions, sudden weeping, and unexplained warfare in the quiet hours of the night. You are not imagining it. The veil is thinning. The shift is active. The confrontation between light and darkness has escalated, and your name is part of the divine strategy. But do not fear. I, Michael, stand on your right side with my sword drawn. I do not sleep. I do not retreat. I do not break formation. When you cried and felt abandoned, I was already encircling your home. When you warred in prayer and felt weak, I was already dispatching legions on your behalf. When you were silent and overlooked, I was whispering your name in heaven's chambers. Now the call comes to you. Heaven is listening. Earth is trembling. And the Spirit is searching. Will you perceive the shift? Will you align yourself with what heaven is doing? Or will you ignore the call and miss the hour? The choice is not between comfort and chaos. The choice is between covering and exposure. Those who align with the Spirit in these next hours will experience supernatural protection and divine acceleration. Those who delay may face storms without shelter. This is not mythology. This is movement in the spirit realm. September 11 has been a day of remembrance for the earth, but in the spirit, it is a day of activation. The scrolls are being opened. The winds are being stirred. A holy urgency is in the air. And the command from the throne has been given, warn my people. Wake my warriors. Call my chosen. If you feel the fire in your spirit now, if your soul bears witness to this word, then you are being summoned, not randomly, but righteously. This message is your confirmation. This moment is your crossing. This window is open, but not for long. Type I hear the warning in the comments. Blessing code 777 is now encamped around your home. They have watched you from the shadows. Not all of them in flesh. Not all of them with faces. Some wore smiles. Others wore silence. But in the unseen, there have been whispers, movements behind curtains, strategies drawn in the dark places, in secret meetings where your name was mentioned without reverence. There have been forces, both human and demonic, that have marked you not with favor, but with fear. Because they saw something in you that you had not even fully seen in yourself. Your rising, your power, your calling. Let this be made clear. What you've been feeling lately, that heaviness, that uneasiness, the emotional spirals that strike without reason, this is not ordinary. It is warfare disguised as mood swings. It is prophetic turbulence cloaked in daily stress. You have been walking through a battlefield without even knowing how close the arrows came to your heart. And even now, the unseen world watches to see how you respond. Have you noticed how the people you trusted grew quiet? Have you noticed how strange dreams began to disrupt your sleep? The uneasiness, the betrayal, the gossip, the sudden changes in atmosphere when you enter a room. None of it is random. It is the spiritual consequence of a chosen one nearing a divine threshold. And the enemy's greatest fear is not your failure. It is your awakening. They counted you out too soon. They mistook your silence for surrender. They thought your tears were proof of defeat. But they only saw a fragment of your story, a moment in your process, not the totality of your divine becoming. And now the Spirit of the living God is confronting every lie spoken about you, every word curse whispered in corners, every hidden hand that tried to pull your destiny out of reach. The disruption you feel is divine in origin. You are not losing your mind. You are gaining your sight. The pain was never punishment. It was pressure before promotion. It was the shaking before the shifting. It was heaven rearranging the battlefield for your breakthrough. And now, on this appointed day, September 11, the mystery is being unveiled. Because while they thought you were breaking, you were actually building. While they tried to bury you, heaven was planting you. While they whispered against you, angels were being dispatched for you. Even now, I see someone crying, shaking, struggling to make sense of the overwhelming emotions. Hear me. You are not alone. What you're feeling is a residue of the warfare around your elevation. The enemy tried to hit your emotions to silence your discernment. But you must understand, your sensitivity is not weakness. It is your weapon. It is the signal that your spirit is aligned with heaven's sound. Ask yourself, why have things been more intense? Why has your atmosphere shifted? Why do you feel unseen, yet watched? Because heaven is preparing to reveal you at a level that the enemy thought he had successfully blocked. But no block can stop what God has built. No betrayal can erase what God has spoken. So now the mystery becomes revelation. What you sense is real. The spiritual disruption is evidence of your divine calling. The pressure you feel is not punishment. It is preparation for prophetic fulfillment. Do not numb yourself. Do not silence your senses. Let the Spirit lead you through the storm, because what comes next will not make sense to your enemies. This is your moment of exposure, not for shame, but for honor. God is revealing what He preserved. And what He preserved was you. Type I am anointed in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1122 is now activated. The warfare you're feeling, the resistance rising around you, it's proof that this word is reaching the ones it was sent to awaken. Every share, every seed, every act of support pushes this message deeper into the places where light must break through. When you sow into this mission, you're not just giving, You're igniting revelation in someone else's soul. God says, I will open the windows of heaven and pour out a blessing not just on the receiver, but on the deliverer. If this message is speaking directly to your spirit, then I want you to move prophetically. Partner with us to push it into the ears of those still asleep. The PayPal link is in the description. Super thanks and membership options are here on YouTube. This is not charity, it's spiritual strategy. Your support is a flame in the darkness. Activate your blessing by sowing now. The heavens are watching. Obedience releases overflow. Let this truth be settled in your soul. You are not under attack because you are weak. You are under attack because you are rising. You are a threat, not to man, but to the kingdom of darkness. The conflict surrounding you, the confusion inside you, the chaos that keeps pressing at the edges of your peace, it is not random. It is strategic. And it is spiritual. The enemy has studied your lineage. He's watched your patterns, tracked your growth, and noted every moment you chose God when it would have been easier to give in. That resistance to the darkness, it marked you. It put a target on your back not because you failed, but because you refused to fall. That's why you felt like the battle intensified with no warning. That's why certain doors closed as soon as you approached them. It was never personal in the natural. It was prophetic in the spiritual. This is where many get confused. They look at conflict and ask, what did I do wrong? But heaven is shouting back, you're under pressure because you're in position. You're not being punished. You're being proved. The shaking is not here to destroy you. It's here to expose what cannot remain. It's here to burn off what will not carry into your next. The fire is not here to consume you. It's here to crown you. And now, the Most High is revealing the truth. Every storm was allowed. Every delay was divine. Every betrayal was permitted. Why? Because it all became part of your training. You are not just surviving warfare, you are learning how to rule in it. You're learning how to hear in the silence, how to stand when others fall, how to discern when distractions come dressed like blessings. You are being trained like a warrior, shaped like a weapon, refined like gold. Understand this clearly. Heaven is not indifferent to your pain. Every tear has been documented. Every silent prayer has echoed in the throne room. The conflict has not gone unnoticed. But God will not remove what He's using to strengthen you. There is a purpose in the tension. There is a power in the resistance. The spiritual battle you are enduring is a sign of your divine identity. You are walking in territory that was once locked. You are confronting generational spirits that thought your bloodline would remain blind forever. But here you are, praying when no one knows, worshiping when you feel nothing, standing in rooms where you are misunderstood, misread, and misused, yet still choosing righteousness. This is not weakness. This is warfare posture. This is what it looks like to fight without swinging, to win without reacting. The world tells you to strike back. The Spirit tells you to go silent. Heaven is watching how you respond, because every reaction is weighed. Every decision is recorded. Every moment of restraint is a shout in the courts of angels. The fight is not just about what's happening around you. It's about what's being formed inside you. What God is doing in you is more important than what He is removing from around you. And if you can stay grounded in this hour, if you can stay silent, stay submitted, stay in the secret place, you will see the strategy of the enemy collapse in real time. So I speak now as Archangel Michael with the authority of heaven. Stand firm. Do not retreat. Do not question your worth. This conflict is confirmation. You are being refined. You are being sealed. And soon, very soon, you will understand why the enemy tried so hard to break what God was building in you. Type "I will not bow to darkness" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 818 is now working on your behalf. There is a tightening in the spirit realm, a coiling of tensions, a pressure that is no longer subtle. What once was whispered in shadows is now being stirred in the open. Forces, both visible and invisible, are converging. Some are gathering to oppose you. Some are preparing to surround you. But heaven is making it known now. Within the next 72 hours, a confrontation will escalate. And you must not be caught unaware. I, Archangel Michael, have been released with this warning not to frighten you, but to prepare you. You must understand what time it is. This is not the hour to play with distractions. This is not the season to be casual with your calling. Something is being orchestrated behind the veil, and if your eyes are not open, if your discernment is not sharp, you may mistake a test for a tragedy, or worse, a betrayal for a blessing. There is movement happening in the spirit realm that is about to spill into the natural. Conversations are taking place without your name, yet about your name. Plans are being drawn that will try to provoke you, corner you, frustrate you. But this is not the time to react. This is the time to retreat into the strategy of silence, for your protection is in your posture. Listen carefully. Not everyone around you is aligned with your assignment. Some have been placed near you for the very purpose of monitoring your progress and planting doubt. There will be faces familiar, yet their intentions will suddenly shift. The atmosphere will begin to feel off. You'll sense agitation, miscommunication, unnecessary offense rising. This is the sign. The enemy is trying to trigger you before your transition. But heaven says, hold your ground. In the next 72 hours, there will be attempts to shake your faith, pull you out of position, drag you into emotional warfare, arguments, accusations, even sudden silence from those you thought you could trust. Do not be moved. The enemy wants you scattered. But God is about to scatter your enemies instead. The weight you feel right now, it's the tension of breakthrough pressing against resistance. The spiritual pressure is peaking. And when pressure builds, it must either break you or birth something through you. This is the season of birthing. And birthing comes with blood, with pain, with stretching. But what will be produced will make the warfare make sense. Hold on. Heaven is about to show you why the battle intensified right here, right now, on this appointed day. There is one more thing you must know. The enemy is always loudest before his collapse. The noise is rising because your silence is strangling his plan. He cannot read your mind. He fears your stillness. He panics when you do not respond in the flesh. Every time you choose peace over panic, prayer over performance, stillness over retaliation, you confuse his camp. And confusion in the enemy's camp is a precursor to victory in yours. So prepare your spirit. Guard your atmosphere. Cleanse your space. Speak only when the Spirit leads. Watch who you vent to. Guard your doors. Guard your ears. Guard your oil. Because the enemy knows he cannot stop your destiny, so he'll try to bait you into forfeiting it. But you will not take the bait. You will walk in wisdom. You will dwell in the shelter of the Most High. And you will come through this next window stronger than before. Heaven is aligning things now. Angels are watching over you. And I, Michael, stand ready, my sword drawn, my command clear. You are not to move in fear. You are to stand in readiness. The window is brief. The warning is clear. The warfare is near, but so is your win. Type "I am ready" for what's next in the comments if this word strikes your spirit. Blessing code 999 is encircling you like a shield. Be still now. Let your spirit breathe. The whirlwind has come close, but it has not consumed you. The tension has risen, but it has not broken you. What surrounds you may feel overwhelming, but what protects you is eternal. I, Archangel Michael, speak again, not with a sword of warning, but with a mantle of divine covering. Heaven has seen the warfare. Heaven has recorded your restraint. And now heaven responds with supernatural protection. Do not underestimate what has been happening around you. The shift you feel is not merely emotional. It is angelic alignment. The heavens have deployed reinforcements. You are not alone. You are not uncovered. You are not walking blind into enemy territory. The Spirit of God has surrounded you with walls that cannot be broken, even if you can't see them. You must trust what is beyond your natural senses. You must now walk by faith and not by sight. Hear me now. The safest place you can be in this hour is not in conversation, not in crowds, not in reaction. The safest place is the secret place. The secret place of the Most High is not a location. It is a posture. It is where your soul bows, where your tongue is tamed, where your spirit listens before it speaks. It is where the divine downloads come, when the fog lifts, where the strategy is revealed. This is why the enemy has been trying to keep you busy, agitated, and emotionally loud, because silence is where heaven speaks the loudest. Withdraw, chosen one. Not as a coward, but as a warrior who knows when to seek the counsel of God. Your enemies will wonder why they can no longer access you. Let them wonder. Your silence is sacred. Your isolation is divine. For in this hour, God is protecting you from battles you don't even need to fight. You are being led away from traps that were set with smiling faces and familiar voices. You are being shielded from backroom betrayals, from distractions wrapped in opportunity, from assignments designed to look like blessings. This is the time to shut the door on gossip, on fear, on toxic cycles, on counterfeit connections. Close the door, not in bitterness, but in obedience. Every time you obey, a layer of divine protection increases around you. Every time you retreat into prayer, another wall of angelic fire surrounds your name, your mind, your household. I stand over you now, not merely watching but warring. With every cry you've whispered in private, with every time you bit your tongue and chose peace, with every moment you resisted the urge to defend yourself, angels were dispatched. This is not poetic. This is prophetic. Heaven fights for those who choose to trust rather than to perform. And now, the Most High says, because you held your peace, I will fight your battle. Let this word cover you like oil. You are not abandoned. You are not forgotten. You are not late. You are hidden for protection, not ignored. The delay is not denial. It is a divine strategy to keep you unseen while heaven finishes preparing the next season of your rise. You will come out of this storm with more power, more clarity, more authority, but you must remain still. In this stillness, receive divine affirmations. You are protected. You are encircled. You are held. You are backed by the armies of the Lord. Nothing formed against you will prosper. Not today. Not in this hour. Not while heaven stands on your side. Every plot is being overturned. Every lie is being reversed. Every arrow is being returned to sender. So now, beloved, rest your spirit. Do not run. Do not panic. The God who called you is the God who covers you. And I, Michael, remain stationed beside you, sword drawn, wings spread, watching every movement in the realm of the unseen. You are not alone in this. You are shielded by glory. Type I am covered in the comments if you receive this word. Blessing code 1441 has just surrounded your household. You are not who they think you are anymore. The version of you they spoke against, the version they overlooked, the version they manipulated and doubted, that version is gone. What stood on trembling legs has now been trained in fire. What was once dependent on others for affirmation now stands affirmed by heaven alone. You have changed. You have been broken, yes. But you were not destroyed. You were rebuilt. Let me speak this with clarity. Heaven does not waste pain. The tears you thought were unnoticed were, in fact, being turned into oil for your anointing. Every silent night became a scroll written in the courts of God. And now, in this season, on this very date, September 11, you cross a divine threshold. What once was weakness in you has now become your weapon. What once was insecurity has now become your insight. You are no longer in hiding. You are in transformation. It was necessary. The isolation, the misunderstanding, the constant cycle of being misjudged and misread. That was the divine filter. God was removing the opinions of man from your atmosphere so he could establish his voice within your soul. You are not in pieces. You are in formation. You have learned how to walk with fire under your feet and grace in your hands. You have learned the rhythm of spiritual warfare, to fight without shouting, to advance without noise, to obey without understanding every detail. That is maturity. That is power. That is what the enemy fears now. The transformation is not only internal, it is about to become evident. The fire didn't consume you. It refined you. The wings you felt burning at your back weren't breaking, they were emerging. You are about to ascend. No, not in ego, not in performance, but in assignment. You have completed a spiritual cycle. The elevation is not a promotion in status. It is a shift in authority. You are being repositioned in the realm of the Spirit. You now carry keys that were forged through pain. And with those keys, you will unlock doors not just for yourself, but for generations. The Spirit of the Lord declares, this is the beginning of your rise. This is not the end of your story. It is the unveiling of your next chapter. And this chapter is not written in ink, but in fire. It is not shaped by public applause, but by private obedience. You do not need validation from those who left. You do not need closure from conversations that were never designed to finish. You do not need revenge against those who thought they broke you. Why? Because your existence is your proof. Your survival is your victory. Your transformation is your revenge. Lift your head now. Straighten your spine. The dust of former seasons is falling off of you. There is no more time for self-pity, no more space for fear. Your wings have already grown. Your armor is already fitted. The oil is already flowing. You are already marked. You are not rising by accident. You are rising by assignment. What heaven has started in you will not be stopped by man, demon, or delay. So walk boldly. Speak carefully. Move wisely. And carry the confidence that you have been forged in the fires of affliction for such a time as this. Heaven has not forgotten you. Heaven has prepared you. And now, the same ones who questioned you will witness the shift they never saw coming. But you will not gloat. You will glow. You will not retaliate. You will reign. You will not prove your worth, because your presence is proof enough. Type "I am walking in power" in the comments if this word resonates in your soul. Blessing code 1717 has now activated your elevation. Now hear this clearly. What you have walked through, what you have warred through, and what you have wept through was never wasted. The shaking had purpose. The silence had meaning. The storm was not allowed to destroy you. It was divinely permitted to reveal you. I, Archangel Michael, now release this prophetic revelation to your spirit. You have been in divine preparation. The trials were not punishments. They were refinements for your next level. Heaven has watched. Not from a distance, but from within your very process. When you felt unseen, the eyes of God were fixed on you. When you felt unheard, the courts of heaven were listening. When you believed nothing was shifting, the ground under your feet was breaking open. And now, on this appointed day, September 11, the revelation is this: you have passed the test. You have endured the refining. You have remained when others fell away. And now your name has been recorded in the scrolls of elevation. This is not mere encouragement. This is a divine announcement. What you carried in secret is about to be confirmed in the open. What you suffered in silence is now being crowned with favor. The pain you survived has become the passport to your next season. The heavens have written your story with oil and sealed it with fire. And now, that seal is breaking open, not to expose you, but to release you. This is your unlocking. You are not being promoted for visibility. You are being positioned for legacy. The weight you've carried was not for nothing. It was preparing you to carry authority, wisdom, and discernment at a level you've never known. You are no longer just a survivor. You are a carrier of divine strategy. A vessel marked to birth new movements. A prophetic voice who went through the furnace so others could walk through the door. Yes, you were overlooked by man, but you were preserved by God. Yes, they talked about you, but heaven spoke over you. Yes, they rejected you, but that rejection was your redirection into destiny. Everything they thought would break you only brought you closer to your divine assignment. And now, the heavens are responding. Blessings are being dispatched. Scrolls are being opened. Names are being called. And your name has been found faithful. This is not the end. This is your unveiling. This is your crossover. What was locked is now being loose. What was sealed is now being open. What was delayed is now being divinely released. Hear this. Prophetic openings do not come often. But on this day, this sacred, high alert day, heaven is issuing a release. Doors will open for you that should have been sealed. Opportunities will find you that you didn't apply for. Rooms will shift when you enter, not because of your name, but because of your obedience. Favor is chasing the faithful. And you, chosen one, have been found faithful. The next season of your life is not just about restoration, it is about divine establishment. God is planting you in places where your roots will run deep. No longer scattered. No longer restless. No longer wandering. Heaven has remembered you, and the reward is not just earthly, it is eternal. You have endured the refining. Now walk boldly into your revealing. Type "My name is recorded in heaven" in the comments if you receive this revelation. Blessing Node 3030 is now unlocking prophetic doors over your life. If this word is unlocking something deep inside your spirit, if you feel the fire, the clarity, the confirmation, then this is your moment to help it reach the next soul who's still stuck in silence. This isn't just content. This is prophetic communication, and every seed you sow helps push it into the path of someone crying out for clarity. God says, "Who will partner with me in reaching the ones I've marked?" If you've been stirred, move now. Sow into this message through super thanks, YouTube membership, or the PayPal link in the video description. Every act of giving is a prophetic act of agreement. Every offering becomes a spiritual tool used to break chains, unlock vision, and awaken destinies. Heaven responds when faith moves. And as you give, heaven records your name in the scroll of builders and senders. Do not hesitate. Your obedience releases your overflow. Move now. This is the moment where heaven no longer waits. This is the moment where destiny demands your response. You are standing in a threshold. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Now. This very hour. This very moment. The shift is not coming. The shift has already begun, and you must not remain passive. You have been prepared. You have been processed. But now, you must be positioned through obedience. You've cried for clarity. This is it. You've asked for confirmation. This is it. You've waited for the sign. This is it. Heaven has sounded the trumpet. And now, your spirit must answer with a yes. A full, bold, unshaking yes. Not a conditional yes. Not a yes that waits to see if it's safe. But the kind of yes that moves mountains, shakes foundations, and causes the enemy to flee. This is no longer about what you feel. This is about what you know deep in your bones. You were born for this. You were anointed for this. You were assigned for this generation. So now I say to you, as the Archangel appointed to protect and awaken the chosen, rise. Speak. Move. Declare. Heaven is not waiting for you to figure it all out. Heaven is waiting for your agreement. Your destiny does not require your perfection. It requires your participation. You are not being invited into another season of surviving. You are being called into a life of ruling. The anointing that rests on you is not ornamental. It is operational. There is a stirring in your spirit for a reason. That fire you feel right now, that's not emotion. That is the Spirit of God igniting your purpose. You are being summoned to activate your next level through divine alignment. That means your thoughts must shift. Your words must come into agreement with heaven. Your steps must be ordered by faith, not fear. There is no more time to question your worth. You are already chosen, already appointed, already backed by angels. And now, heaven is placing in your hands the tools you once thought were out of reach. Authority, vision, boldness, strategy, favor. They are already inside you, but your yes is the key that unlocks them. Not just a verbal yes, but a yes that shows up in your behavior. A yes that gets up and keeps moving. A yes that gives when it hurts. A yes that prays when it doesn't make sense. A yes that steps forward even when the path looks hidden. This is what activation looks like. Not a feeling, but a decision. And I tell you now, heaven moves when you decide. Heaven fights when you stand. Heaven releases when you speak. You are not waiting on God. God is waiting on you to come into full agreement with your identity. Let every voice that told you to stay small be silenced. Let every memory of failure be dissolved in the fire of faith. Let every reason that tried to keep you quiet fall powerless to the ground. Because today, in the spirit realm, a shift has been written. And it says this: the time of hiding is over. The time of holding back is over. The time of second guessing is over. You will now walk with fire. You will now move with divine momentum. You will now live in the full force of your calling. You are no longer surviving. You are activating. Not later. Not eventually. Now. Your life is not just protected, it is prophetic. Your voice is not just heard, it is commissioned. Your steps are not just ordered, they are divinely enforced. All of heaven stands behind your yes. So open your mouth and declare it. Heaven is listening. Type "Heaven has my yes" in the comments. Blessing code 2024 is now aligning you with your next level. There is a realm that the natural eyes cannot see. A dimension where voices are silent but movements are loud, where prayers become currency, where tears become contracts. You have stepped into it now, not by your own doing, but because heaven has drawn you in. The invisible world is in motion, and you are at the center of a divine exchange. While others are busy watching timelines, news cycles, and opinions, you are being watched by angels. You have been engaging in a conversation with heaven that no one else could hear. The words you never said, the burdens you never spoke, the choices you made in private, all of it was heard. All of it was seen. And all of it is being answered now in the spirit realm. This is not about noise. This is about obedience. This is not about performance. This is about posture. While the world saw nothing, heaven saw everything. The moments you gave even when you had little. The nights you stayed faithful even when your soul felt numb. The times you chose silence instead of retaliation. The decisions you made that cost you friends, comfort, opportunities. What others mocked, heaven memorialized. And now, I say to you as heaven's appointed messenger, Archangel Michael, a transaction is being completed in the unseen. What you thought was lost is being returned. What you thought was stolen is being restored. The enemy reached for you, but he miscalculated. He thought your silence was surrender. He thought your weeping meant weakness. But what he could not see is that you were negotiating in the spirit. You were standing in a holy place where your prayers spoke louder than any performance ever could. This is the mystery. While you were quiet, heaven was not. While you sat in pain, heaven was planning promotion. While you endured warfare, the angels were organizing restoration. While you were being rejected, God was reserving your seat at a table no one else can sit at. And now, in this sacred shift, heaven is giving back to you everything the enemy tried to delay, deny, or destroy. You must understand the weight of what's happening. This is not compensation. This is divine recompense. This is not charity from God. This is the reward of faithfulness. And it is happening now, quietly, invisibly, but completely. Heaven does not need the approval of man to restore you. Your breakthrough does not come with public applause. It comes with divine authority. And when heaven speaks restoration, no demon, no betrayal, no delay can cancel what is being transferred into your life. You are being repaid, but it won't look like what you lost. It will be better, deeper, higher. Because God does not return to you in equal measure, He returns with overflow. He restores with interest. He heals with speed. He opens what no man can close. And this silent exchange happening now is not just about blessing. It's about vindication. Heaven is testifying that you were right to trust. You were right to wait. You were right to hold on when everything told you to let go. So now, do not move in haste. Do not demand validation. Simply receive. Be still and know the war in the Spirit has already shifted in your favor. The mantle has already fallen. The oil is already pouring. You are standing in a divine reversal, and the transaction has been sealed. Heaven is repaying you in silence, but soon the evidence will be loud. Type a "Receive my heavenly exchange" in the comments. Blessing code 4545 is now completing your recovery. Heaven has issued its verdict. The courts of the Most High have ruled in your favor. What man tried to manipulate, what the enemy tried to sabotage, and what darkness tried to delay, is now being overturned. This is not an emotional statement. This is not motivational fluff. This is spiritual justice, and it has been set in motion from the highest realm. For too long, you were mishandled by people who did not discern your value. You were judged by seasons you had already outgrown. You were labeled by wounds they never bothered to understand. They whispered your name with dishonor, thinking heaven was silent. They mistook divine delay for divine disinterest. But God was not ignoring you. He was building your case. He was allowing them to speak, to move, to plot, to perform. And now, heaven is reversing it all. You are stepping into a season where the weight of injustice will be lifted, not because man repents, but because God restores. Every false word, every closed door, every misdiagnosed moment, it has all been placed before the righteous judge. And heaven has spoken. Enough. The angelic realm has been mobilized to restore everything that was taken from you and to reverse the schemes that were secretly formed against you. What was meant to humiliate you will now elevate you. What was meant to break your spirit will now build your platform. Let me speak this clearly. Justice is not coming. Justice is active. The scales are not tipping. The scales have tipped. And the reversal will not come through human hands. It will come through divine orchestration. You don't need to make announcements. You don't need to plead your case to those who never saw you clearly. Let God make the announcement. Let heaven be the speaker on your behalf. When God promotes you, even your enemies will have no choice but to witness it. When God restores you, there will be no earthly explanation, only awe. This is divine reversal in motion. And it is not subtle. It will echo. It will disrupt old narratives. It will close the mouths of every false witness. It will bring silence to the voices that once spoke against you. Because the hand of God is not just bringing you forward. It is reversing what was designed to bury you. They thought you were finished. Heaven says you're just beginning. They thought your silence meant surrender. Heaven says it was strategic. They thought the delay meant denial. Heaven says it was development. Do not take matters into your own hands now. Do not avenge yourself. The King of Heaven has already ruled, and his reversal is worth more than your retaliation. You will look back and see how heaven turned the page without your help. You will witness how God took what was meant for your destruction and made it a stage for your destiny. You are not forgotten. You are not forsaken. You are not misjudged in the courts of heaven. You are fully known, fully defended, and fully vindicated. The honor you carry is not man-made. It is not social. It is supernatural. And now, every lie, every scheme, every plan set against you is collapsing under the weight of divine justice. So do not tremble when the old systems fall. Do not weep over what is crumbling. That which was built on lies cannot stand in the presence of divine truth. What's coming next will not be explained by logic. It will only be explained by the hand of God. Type "Justice is mine" in the comments if you believe this ruling is for you. Blessing code 711 is now working to reverse what was wrong. Mark this day. Mark this moment. Let it be etched into the chambers of your spirit forever. September 11 is no longer just a day of remembrance for the world. It is a divine timestamp in your personal scroll. A shift has taken place. A transition has been declared. A line has been drawn in the heavens, and you have crossed it. You are no longer who you were. You are no longer where you were. You are no longer waiting. You are walking in the divine shift. This message was not coincidence. It was a summoning. A spiritual interruption designed to awaken, to confront, to confirm, and to commission. It was not written for the many. It was sent for the remnant, for the sensitive, for the set apart, for the soul that hears the sound behind the sound. And if you felt the fire, if your spirit has stirred, if the words spoken have echoed with force through your bones, then heaven is confirming that you are the one. You are the one who was chosen to receive this warning. And more than that, you are the one who is called to respond. This is not the end. This is your rise. Not with pride, but with power. Not with performance, but with presence. You walk forward now with your head lifted, your eyes cleared, and your spirit sharpened. You walk forward with angels assigned to your left and to your right. You walk forward with Archangel Michael covering your steps, watching your borders, shielding your name. You walk forward not because you understand everything, but because you trust the one who orchestrated everything. So receive this final blessing. May your mind be protected by divine clarity. May your heart be guarded with supernatural peace. May your home be encircled with heaven's fire. May your feet be ordered only by the whispers of God. May your tongue release only what aligns with destiny. May your hands carry only what heaven has assigned. And may your name be spoken in rooms you haven't entered, by angels who fight for you in silence. You are sealed. You are seen. You are sent. Now rise, not in noise, but in knowing. Now rise, not in striving, but in strength. Now rise, not in confusion, but in clarity. You were called for such a time as this. You are chosen, anointed, appointed, protected, and released. This is your mantle. This is your own. September 11 will never be the same again, and neither will you. Type "I am walking in my divine shift" in the comments to seal this word. Final blessing code 911 has now clothed you with supernatural favor. If this prophetic word has shifted something in your soul, if it's confirmed what you've been sensing but couldn't articulate, then know this. Your support helps us deliver these divine warnings to the ones still in the dark. This is more than a message. This is a mandate from heaven. And when you sow into this moment, you're not just supporting a video. You're sending a sword into someone's wilderness. Heaven says, "My word shall go forth, and it shall not return void." Every super thanks, every membership, every PayPal seed link in the video description is an act of spiritual warfare. It pushes this message into the hands of those who need it most, at the exact moment they're ready to receive it. That's not coincidence. That's divine alignment. Don't delay. Don't hold back. Your obedience to support is a prophetic act, and it is being recorded in the scrolls of remembrance. God will bless the giver, multiply the mission, and expand the reach. Give boldly. Give prophetically. The harvest is waiting.